What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Finally have some content to film for you guys because this has been a long time coming. I have been waiting for this particular parts for, I want to say, a month and a half, 2 months, but I want to say the wait is worth it. And by the time of this video, you guys may or may not have already can tell, or even by the thumbnail, we're going to be working on the S2000. We do have something that this is probably like one of my dream things and probably one of the main reasons why I wanted to buy the S2000. Right now, the car is sitting fairly stock. It just has a rep OEM AP1 front lip, nothing on the side, and just some, just some basic TE37s, just no biggie, no biggie. In this series, we're going to be installing a Voltex front bumper as well as some J's Racing side skirts on the car. So just to rewind a bit, I bought these off of Shine Auto Project. I was bouncing back and forth between Group A as well as Shine. If you are in the S2000 community or kind of like in that aftermarket body parts realm, you guys have probably heard of those companies before, but I ended up going with Shine Auto Project because I heard the fitment on the products that they offer are actually pretty good. So when I was about to order these parts, I ended up emailing them first because I wasn't sure if they had it in stock, what the process is on that front. They were like, yo, unfortunately we don't have them in stock, so you're gonna have to wait about 4 to 6 weeks. And I was like, let's hope it's 4 weeks. It ended up being maybe 6 to 7 weeks. So these are the J's Racing side skirts. It does sit a little bit lower than stock, so it goes down as well as come out. So similar to the Lexus. The reason why I wanted this is because I heard, and I talked with a few people, that they said these side skirts run pretty much the same level as the Voltex front bumper. And I kind of like how a car sits low in the front and then it kind of flows to the side and flows along the car. But I mocked it up a little bit, and I have to do a little bit of cutting. You will see this little notch right here. This is obviously something that I have to cut off, which it's not crazy, but it's definitely something that I have to do in order for it to fit. So I also want to preface this by saying this is the first time I'm actually using a Dremel on car parts and just a Dremel in general. So I guess we'll see how it goes. If I fuck it up, then rip to me. The blade's not strong enough, so I'm gonna have to swap it out for another one. Take 2. It looks a lot better than before. It's not anything like a crazy piece that we took off. I'll probably have to cut a little more and then smooth it out with the Dremel to kind of get a round corner. So after more cutting, this is the second step of where I was able to get it. It does look a lot better. It looks more smooth. So if you look at the corner from the top, it actually looks, pretty good. So now everything is smoothed down. This is sanded down. It actually looks pretty good for my first time actually drilling something out. I think it kind of flows pretty well. So I went inside to eat something really quick, turn off the light, and then the light doesn't turn back on. I got some good news. I was able to mock it up to the car, and let me tell you, this thing looks better than I thought. God damn. So it honestly looks really good. It makes the car extend a lot lower than how it was before. Obviously it's not bolted down yet, but you guys can kind of get the gist of how it looks like. And you look at it from the back view, and it looks pretty good as well. So I just want to keep you guys updated on where I'm going to mount it. So I think in the back, I'm gonna do 2 screws here, here. That should be fine. The fronts is where I'm kind of having trouble just because there's not a lot of places to drill, especially for the side skirt. We have a big surface area on the side skirt that we can drill into. However, the portion that we can drill into on the actual car itself is very minimal. We do have the hole for the fender wall, or for the fender liner, I mean. So we can use that hole. The only problem is I just have to make sure that the side skirt is lined up with the fender liner hole, and that should be fine. Like, I don't have to drill any other holes in the car except for the ones that is going in here. My only issue is that it's only gonna be held in with 1 screw in the front. But as of right now, I think I'm just gonna do 1 in the front, 2 in the back, see how it is, and then kind of go from there. So I got good news and I got bad. The bad news is the side skirt's still not on the car. The good news is I figured out where I'm gonna drill. It's definitely not where I wanted to drill the side skirt, but it seems like it's the only way possible in order for me to actually get this thing on the car. So as I was explaining in the previous clip, the front, the only way to actually bolt it up from the front is actually through this hole. Trying to push this side skirt up all the way to the bottom of the car, it kind of bottoms out already, and it still doesn't even reach the top bolt here. So unfortunately, that's not an option. The rears, however, I do have a little bit more success. I did end up shaving a little bit more here just to fit it kind of flush here. So I do have more surface area to drill holes. I was watching a few videos, and it seems like the only way possible to drill this thing and make it stay on the car is in the bottom. It's definitely not how I would have preferred to mount it to the car, but if it's the only way, it seems like it's the only way. So I'm probably gonna drill one like here, and then every like so often until I reach the end. And I don't think this thing is going anywhere. The only problem that I see is fitment issues. If I mock it to the car and have two people hold the side skirt to the car and I drill, will it still like hang off? That's my only thing with it. If you have it drilled on the side, it essentially won't move this way or this way. That's probably gonna be the solution that I foresee for these side skirts. It took me longer than I thought to realize this, but it is what it is.
The next day.
All right, y'all, so now it's the next day. I got some good news and I got some bad news. I'll start off with the bad news. The bad news is I wasn't able to record anything that I did regarding the side skirts. The good news, however, is I was able to get the side skirts on. So hopefully when we do the next side, or the opposite side, I'll be able to record it for you guys and explain it a little bit better. So side skirt installed now, and it looks really, really good. The fitment is actually not bad. You will see a little bit of red between the side skirt and the body of the car. It's because I added some 3M tape, and I ended up just drilling everything in, and it fit really good, but I was kind of too lazy to take off the 3M. Don't hold me for that. I'm gonna take off the side skirt, and then I will kind of make sure it sticks, because this is temporary until I drop it off to paint. And the only kicker is the front. Like I mentioned before, there wasn't anything to drill in like this fender or the fender wall, anything like that. So I ended up just using a zip tie. It's not something that I would want, to be honest. Side's a little shaky, but as you go towards the middle, it starts to get a lot more sturdier. So the only wiggly part is just the front. But now we get to move on to the exciting part and get started on the Voltex front bumper. You know that it's packaged really good when it takes you probably about 15 to 20 minutes just to take something out of the packaging that it was in.
A few moments later.
All right, y'all, so we're back again. I didn't end up doing anything last night except for taking off the front bumper. So we're just gonna mock it up. There are some holes already. 2 on the side, 4 in the front, but there's supposed to be 5. So there's a hole here, but there's no hole here. And then, yeah, 2 on the other side. So let me go ahead and put you guys down. Let's get this one. Voltex front bumper is now mounted and on. It looks pretty good. I can already tell that I'm gonna be super low compared to the stock. Granted, we didn't even install the lip yet, but looks pretty good. Looks a lot more aggressive than before. I got it. So we got a full mess going on in the garage. We have the front bumper upside down. We have the Voltex front lip. And what's good about this one that I've noticed is that there are already hardware. There's already hardware already in the bumper. So we use these as markers. So that one was taped up. It looked like this. So there's one on each side. So this one and those 2 were covered in tape. And the bumper was also marked with like kind of circles so that you know where to drill and the hardware is supposed to go. These 2 lined up. There are holes drilled on the, not holes, like circles like I mentioned, on the lip as well. So we're gonna be drilling where those circles are. We're running into a slight issue, and it's in regards to those 2 bolts that were already in the bumper itself. So we have the bumper here. It looks like it's already assembled. However, it's only holding by 1 screw on one side. So the screw that already came on the bumper itself, it's actually underneath the vent here. You guys can see it right here. It's the little silver piece. That I believe is just a placeholder. I don't think that you'll be able to use that bolt. You may or may not. We have noticed is that we were able to screw one in there. On the other side, the screw actually came out of the hole. which is unfortunate because I won't be able to fit anything underneath the vent. This side is bolted down with just that one bolt. So I'm using it as a placeholder, and my marker is going to be the fender, like this fender like line right here. So as long as this lines up with the front lip, I'll be able to drill a hole for where the hardware is supposed to be placed around here. So it's actually not bad. This is the side that is bolted down with that one bolt. So everything kind of lines up pretty well. We have now finally finished the long and tedious part of drilling the hardware in the bumper, but everything is good now. So they are mimicked from the driver's side to the passenger side. Or we have one in the corner right here, one right behind the vent right here, and then we have one closer to the middle vent right here. So those 3 points are pretty solid. So that pretty much completes the front bumper installation, I guess, the put together part. So now the fun part comes to just making sure everything is attached, like the moldings for the hood, make sure that's attached to the Voltex front bumper, and then we can put it on the car. All right, y'all, so now we have everything put back together. Voltex front bumper on, driver's side, Jay's Racing side skirt on. Still have to do the passenger, but everything is kind of tying in. Here we go, big reveal, bam! Honestly, it looks weird, obviously, because the car is not painted or anything. It's just black bumper and side skirts. But hopefully you guys can picture the vision when everything is painted. But I want to say that this bumper is a lot more aggressive than I thought. You have, you know, the stock front bumper. But one thing that really sticks out to me is that the gapping between the headlight and then the edge of the bumper is ginormous compared to the stock front bumper. That was the biggest thing for me. It does stick out a good amount. For those of you who have an S2000, you guys probably are like, bro, like, should have known this already. Yes, I know that, but you know, you don't really know until you actually see one or you're up close and personal with a Voltex front bumper. But it looks really good. The fitment, I want to say, is about an 8.5, 8 out of 10 for me. All right, y'all, so I'm about to leave for the gym. But before I leave for the gym, I'm gonna back this car out the driveway so I can see how it looks like outside. You're good. Yeah, you're fine. Solid. All right, y'all, so we have now finally completed the install of the kit. So coming from the back of the car, it definitely gives the car a little bit more depth in the middle. Fitment on this side is actually not too terrible. It's mainly just the corners. Like here, there is just like a decent sized gap. We put 3M tape on the side, but I don't think it's gonna hold up in the middle. Like this is, like it's sturdy, it's not moving. So I think it should be fine. And the 3M tape definitely helped in the front because I do have a zip tie because, like I mentioned earlier in the video, there isn't anywhere to bolt this. As you come along to the front of the car, you have the Voltex front bumper. The fitment on this thing is actually like, it's not bad. I feel like it could be a lot worse for a rev bumper. But granted, you know, you can't really expect 10 out of 10 fitment for a rev. Fitment, I want to say, is about in between like an 8 and an 8.5 out of 10. By the time this video gets out, it's probably gonna be Christmas, so I just wanna wish you guys a happy holidays. I haven't really been posting a lot this year, but I do have a few videos that I'm gonna be posting in the next few weeks. I do have more plans with this car, as well as the Lexus. So I appreciate you guys' support this past year. It hasn't been as active on YouTube as I want it to be, but in 2025, I do wanna kinda ramp it up a little bit. So until the next video, I'll see you guys in the next one.